Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to show you something real quick. It's not gonna be a long video because I already have this bowl pretty much almost done. It's a birch bowl, so a shallow birch bowl, small one. But I want to show you specifically how I take off the tenon. This is what is usually mounted into my four-jaw chuck here when I have it mounted this way and I'm, without this piece in here. This is mounted in here now. But I usually have this mounted into the chuck to get its final shape and hollow it out. But right now, we have to worry about taking the bottom off and creating a little foot. And Jesse, this is specifically for you, my friend, because I know you saw some of my stuff at the office the other day at lunch, and you commented how the bottom looks really nice, and I figured I want to show that to you. So what I have set up here in my four-jaw chuck is a scrap piece of wood. This is my what they call a jam chuck, and it's just a scrap piece of wood, usually mounted maybe on a faceplate, but I have mine mounted to a four-jaw chuck here, where I am going to take my bowl and put some padding here, just an old washcloth, and I'm going to put it on this scrap piece of wood. Now I put the padding here so it doesn't mar the face of, or the inside of the bowl here. And I'm just going to mount it right on there. And it's called a jam chuck because I'm going to take my tailstock. This is a bullnose live center. It comes to an extreme point here, which allows me to get in really close with the bowl gouge. I already have a center point on here from when I had it mounted previously between centers, so I have a reference now to line up the tailstock. And it is literally going to just jam the bowl in place. There's nothing that's going to be clamping down on here because you don't want any marks on this, nice finished surface or anything like that. So I'm going to bring my tailstock up and rest the point of that nose right in that center there, right in that little divot. All right, I'm going to tighten down my tailstock in place. I'm going to crank up the neck of it so that it pushes in more. So I'm just going to crank that in. You're going to see it move very, very slightly. And then I'm going to just set everything in place so nothing moves on me. I move my tailstock, not my tool rest rather, right up to it. And I'm going to then make sure everything is turning freely. I'm going to take my bowl gouge, and I'm going to come in and just start taking off pieces here. So I really can't afford a better angle on it right now without the camera stand getting in my way. But hopefully this will give you a little bit of insight on how I remove the tenon. Again, I'm not as highly experienced as other people are, so don't take my word for it. But this is how I do it, and my results are usually pretty good for for me. So set this in forward position, get this going. I'm just going to start taking down. Now I'm not going to remove the shoulder because I want to keep that as my foot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take down this outer cylinder, this tenon here, little by little. Just like this. And you want to be careful when you get really close to this, to the center here, because it can become a weak point. It'll be very thin at some point. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. is I'm going to come in here a little bit, get some better lighting. There we go. I'm going to come in here and start just defining where I want my foot to be. Just like that. For this full gouge, this is how I'm doing it. So, and I'm going to start taking off, making a recess. Right like that. I'm going to keep that center support in place for a little longer. Turn that up a little bit. I'm going to take the center down a little more. I'm going to start and actually lower my speed a little bit. I'm kind of pushing this into like an inverted V shape here. Now I'm going to stop this now. I'm starting to get some cracking. This is going to sand out that. So you know what? Let me just clean that up a little bit. There we go. Now, you can see that this is already starting to crack here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and I actually have a rubber mallet, a small chisel. I'm going to move my tool rest out of the way. There's a lot of force coming in, so this is starting to split a little. So I'm going to stop that right there. I'm going to take my chisel very gently. I'm going to have a little force coming in this way, so I'm holding the bowl in place. And it's going to tap with the mallet, rotate it around, tap a little more. Alright, now that center is starting to come free. So I'm going to now move my tailstock out of the way and over here. I'm going to continue up here, and I'm going to just, you can do this however you want. If you have any other tools to take this off, you can use whatever tools you need. I find that for me, light taps with the chisel and my mallet, it's just, it does a decent enough job for me. It's just going to chip that piece right off. cut that right off right there. Now, I know this looks a little ugly right now, but I have also my my drill, and I have sanding discs. Right now the battery is being recharged, so I'll just go through what I would normally do is I would just sand this right down, starting with 80 grit, working up to about 400. The 80 grit and the 120 will get this down really flat, and the 240 and the 400 will be more like polishing it off. And that's what I usually do to take off my my tenon and using my jam chuck here. This thing has served me well for most of the bowls that I've done. And just like I said, it's just a scrap piece of wood that I just carved out so it fits inside the mouths of most of the bowls that I do. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.